Hey everyone, my name's Kahmali. For those that don't know me, I am from Boston, Massachusetts, and I'm a software engineer by profession, but really into politics, kind of a political junkie, I would say. For a while now, I've been wanting to create a podcast so that I can start to share my thoughts. In the past few years, for what's probably obvious reasons, I've gotten a lot more into politics and found myself having an opinion about everything and wanting to share that opinion. And so I consider myself a leftist. I suppose I would self-identify as a socialist, a democratic socialist. I believe in democratizing the institutions that we exist within every day. So things like our workplace and our housing, and as many of our institutions as we can, and trying to propagate that all the way up to our political system so that we can have sort of like what Richard Wolff says, until you have democracy in your economy, you can't really have true democracy in your political system. So what I'd like to do is to just record videos of me talking about the news of the day, essentially presenting those news stories and then giving my opinion. And of course, I have a left-wing perspective, a left-wing bias, I suppose. I've not always identified as a lefty my entire life. I identified as recently as about 5 years ago now. I was a self-identified centrist. I would say things like I'm socially liberal and economically conservative, but I really didn't know what these terms meant. I didn't really have a civic education, and so I didn't know how. I hadn't formed my ideology. Now, at this stage of my life, I think ever since the election of Trump kind of woke me up to politics, and then I just over time have developed an ideology from research and just opening up my mind and my perspective to new views. And so I better define my ideology, and that's where I've come to realize I'm of the left, and I am probably have a strongest affinity towards the identity of a democratic socialist. Not a social democrat. I do believe in, again, workers existing within a democratized workplace, one worker, one vote. So the reason that I'm doing this is that I think that we need more voices on the left in our media, particularly independent media. I think is going to be new media in the future. But for now, we do sort of have to contend with the reality that corporate media still rules the land. But what I'd like to do is to be another voice on the left. I think we already have some really amazing voices out here doing, amazing podcasts, YouTube shows, and different forms of independent journalism. Folks like Jacobin, The Intercept, TYT, Michael Brooks Show, Majority Report with Sam Cedar to some extent. I love Jamie Peck, and Rational National, Harriet Fraud, Brianna Joy Gray, Tim Black, Jordan Sheridan, Katie Halper, and Matt Taibbi on Useful Idiots, Crystal Ball and Sagar and Jetty even. I mean, that's not a person on the left, but he's a populist. That's crazy. I probably agree with Sagar on more things that I agree with a lot of liberals on. Nina Turner, Cornel West, Kyle Kulinski of Secular Talk. He's been a huge influence of mine. I know I forgot people. So sorry, folks. So a lot of folks, I'm sorry if I missed you. Oh, the Humanist Report, Progressive Voice. I think we need more of that. I think we need more voices on the left. I think it's great to have more marginalized voices. Black, brown, indigenous, women, trans people, gay people. I think we need more representation for those groups and those identities on the left. A lot of folks that show up in corporate media, they've sort of been co-opted into that neoliberal ideology, and that's why they're there. What I'd like to do is be a counter to that, and to sort of counteract some of that by providing the news and analysis from a left-wing perspective, and hopefully talking about the way that I would like to see the world move and change, because I do think that there's a really amazing opportunity. I mean, right now we're in the midst of a global pandemic. I'm doing this as we are sort of in a lockdown state in some ways. We've been, ordered to stay inside as much as possible. So essentially what I'd like to do is to present the news of the day, but to do it from my left-wing perspective, democratic socialist perspective, and to try to begin to discuss a way forward from here. So what I need from you is to please, if you are someone that's on the left or interested in hearing left-wing perspective, please do me a favor and subscribe to my channel below on YouTube. So just click that link to subscribe. Please subscribe. That's the first thing. I think the next step for me is to open up a Patreon account and try to get the funding that I need to make this a more regular thing. And so I need your help with that. I mean, I would love to make this my full-time job essentially and be able to do this full-time, but I need to put food on the table, got to make a living still. So for now, it probably won't be as frequent content as what I could do, and certainly not as high quality as what I could do if I get some support from the community. So if you listen to me and you listen to my videos and you like what you hear and you'd like to hear more and you'd like to support that and support this movement, support independent media, then please do me a favor and subscribe to my channel and come back, hit that bell too, click the bell and get subscribe to all the notifications so that whenever I make a new video and put it out there, you'll get it. You might be asking, why is the channel called Radical Democracy? Well, it's a working title, subject to change for now. I'm not great with names, but I do believe in radical democracy, the kind that Cornel West speaks of. And that's the same democracy that we talk about with democratic socialism, just really instituting democracy in every aspect of our lives so that we have self-determination. And that's it. So that's all, folks. I hope you subscribe, and I will see you soon. Peace.